County. Oh, cool. Yeah, people from all over. So we're good. We're good.
All right. Okay. Here we go. Let me start this in. Hi there. It's Brian Sebastian, Movie Reviews and More, the Worldwide TV Network, which was formerly the Women's Broadcast TV Network, IT247 out of Franklin, Tennessee, and WomenOnTV.tv. So here we go. This is a special one because not only is one of our co-hosts, Linda Steele, out of Chicago, or Hot Bod, Linda Steele, she has one of her clients on. So this is a new one. So this is interesting. So Steven, who the hell are you and where'd you come from?
Steve Baxley. I am here in the lovely city of Jackson, Michigan. And I host a few internet shows.
Oh, I didn't know that. What shows?
Yes, I do. I do a little comedy entertainment sports show called Last Call Cafe, which everyone, if you would like to, you can hear on Spreaker. We just moved from Friday night to Sunday night at around 11 that we go live to tape, and then my co-host Jay the Brain Man pops it into the Spreaker and other fine little platforms. And then I do a sports show on YouTube called the L2C Sports Final, where it's sports with a little comedic attitude. And the other show I do with my friend Jay the Brain Man is Wrestle Anime Hut, where we talk wrestling, anime, and anything else that matters, and that's also on Spreaker. So podcasting and YouTube, gotta love it, and I do.
Hey, that's good to know. Well, all right, so Linda, how did you meet this client and what needed to be done, which is important because everybody have been talking about, some people have been getting out now, but they've got a little bit of weight on them still. How did this happen and what have you been hearing on your end?
So I met Steve years ago and he was a fan, and he started following me on Twitter, invited me to be on one of his shows, and from then on, he just kind of followed me. He followed my broadcast. He followed my workout broadcasts. He followed all the tips that I was given when I was doing the fit.live shows, and that went out to all over the world. Remember, I had like 10 to 50,000 people watching at any one given moment. And Steve was one of those people, and he rarely missed a show. And, you know, through emails and so forth, he just became a client. And next thing you know, he's following my program pretty regularly.
So Steve, what did you like about Linda? What was it about her in general, and then what she was doing that caught your attention? Because there's always something where people start to connect with a certain trainer, or they just like following this person. What was it for you?
Well, she is, let's try that again, calm. She is down to earth, and she speaks her mind, and if she ever puts that hair in a bun, you know you're in deep trouble.
Oh, I didn't know that part. I want to hear that.
Oh my gosh, all of my fans know that if I show up on screen and my hair's in a ponytail, I'm having a bad day. And if I'm wearing a hat, right, Steve, it's even worse.
Yes.
If I'm wearing a hat, look out.
Yes, if you're wearing a hat, be like 5 feet away from her because lightning.
Yes. I was doing my fit.live show the other day, and it was hot in my garage, and I had the fan going, but it was really, and I was doing legs. So in the middle of my broadcast, I'm doing this, and I put my hair up in a ponytail. And one of my fans emailed me and said, I saw the ponytail being constructed live, and I didn't even know what to do with myself.
I mean, one time, I will tell you this, one time on the old Fit Live broadcast she used to do from her gym, she would have so many guys literally try to hit on her that I saw when she started that bun, I'm like, we will remember these people. We will remember these people well. The funeral arrangements will be made soon.
Yep. Oh, that's funny.
You do not want to cross this woman. No, no, no.
Well, Stephen, and then at that point, you started, because she's very interesting. She's intriguing. What caught my attention is that she was going to the movies, and then she had Dumbo ratings. I'm like, well, this is creative. I got to get to know this person. I didn't care about anything else she was doing. I was more infatuated that she was going to movie theaters. And then I'm like, oh, okay, so she does this too. And then that's so that just added on to everything else. But when you guys started to connect, Linda, what was the first thing that Steve needed, in your opinion, before he started doing things?
Honestly, Steve needed knowledge and he needed discipline. Those were the two things that he was lacking. He needed knowledge and he needed discipline. And between knowledge, discipline, and accountability, those are the three top reasons why people usually hire me. And but you have to be ready. You know, if you're not ready, you're not ready. And it just so happened that all the planets were in perfect alignment and Steve was ready and I had the knowledge and I had the discipline, and it just all came together at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
So Stephen, when did you feel you were ready? Because I never heard that before, and that's absolutely true. You have to be ready. So when did you know you were ready?
Well, when I went on the scale and it said 499, and I'm like, 1 more pound and I better get a piano carton. So I saw one of her, as she said, I saw one of her those shows and I got hooked. And she was like the guardian angel I didn't have, because when I was a kid, the refrigerator, if I can say this, the refrigerator was my lover.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would go in and I just, scarf down almost everything. So I said to myself, Steve, you better do something. You're getting close. So I saw Linda and I'm like, I'm hooked. Please help. And she did. When I mentioned her name, when we were doing the show on Blog Talk Radio, me and Jay and Tom O'Neill, God rest your soul, Tom. I had mentioned Linda Steele, and a few minutes later, I had Jay said, "You got a call." So I hit the button. I said, "You're on the air." And said, "This is Linda Steele." And I'm like, "Oh God." and this is true. I nearly plotzed. Okay, I nearly plotzed. I'm like, what did I just get myself into? I had Jay.
So you couldn't back out at that point.
No, Jay and Tom both texted me and said, "You screwed this up. We're going to kick your bloody ass all the way down to the Ambassador Bridge in Detroit." Trust me, I've seen that bridge. But she is literally my guardian angel.
That's great. I'm honored. You have been so easy to work with because, again, you wanted it. And, there have been plenty of times, Steve, that you kind of went off the reservation and you would hit small goals that you had set for yourself, some milestones, and then it's really hard to take on that lifestyle forever, every single day of your life, and never fall off. So every now and again, you'd hit a milestone and then you'd kind of stay in that range for a little while, and then you'd pick it back up again, and then you'd maybe fall back a little bit. But, I remember mentioning to you early on, I mentioned to you that this was going to be a marathon. This was going to be, you have the rest of your life to get to your goal. So it's not that overwhelming if you look at it like that. You don't have to do it by tomorrow. You don't have to do it by next week, by next month even. If you take on this lifestyle, when it's all said and done, you're going to continue to lose weight. You're going to continue to get healthier. Your blood sugar is going to continue to level out. Mm-hmm. Your cholesterol is going to continue to go down. And you realize that. You took that on and said, okay, you're right. I can do this. And I'm just going to change my lifestyle best I can. And I'm going to continue on doing what it is I need to do in order to make this happen. Whether it be next year, 3 years later, 4 years later, 5 years. How many years have I known you anyway?
Oh God. I'd say a lot
Yeah,
of years.
several years now.
Yeah, several years, and they've always been good ones.
Oh, now how am I getting a phone call?
Oh,
Sorry.
So Stephen, when you think about that, what was the first thing? Do you remember the first exercise she made you do and why?
it was dealing with the legs, and I've always had a little trouble with the exercising of the legs, but I got to doing some I don't know these let's see, I did the squats and the thrust, the little one-legged thrust, and also with the little weights, and they see they did me good. They did me good. And
How much weight have you lost right now? And when did you first started noticing before you got on the scale?
before I got on the scale, I had lost a total of 167 pounds.
167 pounds. That is unbelievable. It's
And
unimaginable.
you're telling me it's unimaginable. When I saw that, I went to we have a hospital downtown. I used their scales, and I used scales from a shopping center, and they all coalesced into agreement. When I had my little calculator, and I looked at 167.5 pounds, I'm like, yes, and I literally ran a lap around the mall.
Wow.
Good for you.
I mean,
Stephen, that's not easy to do, right?
I know. And after that, my friend's family had to literally grab a spatula and scrape me from the ceiling of the ball, because that is how happy I am. When I saw first number 3 and the rest of the numbers lower, I'm like, ah, no stopping.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Linda, when you heard that of what he was losing and then what he lost, what was your initial response?
Well, because it was gradual, he would check in and let me know I'm down 20 more pounds, I'm down this many more pounds, and this, those were all great to hear. But when I heard how many total, I went, oh my gosh. I mean, that's an entire person's weight. That's an entire average person, what they weigh.
That's Stephen, that's me.
It's just amazing. So now I've trained people before who have lost a couple 100 pounds. And what amazes me are the things that they're able to do now that they weren't able to do before. And one example, one man that I trained who lost 200 pounds, he had season tickets for the Bears, Chicago Bears. And for years, he paid for his season tickets, but couldn't fit in his seat. When he lost his 200 pounds, he would have to sit on the stairs and get in trouble every time they tell him to leave, because you're blocking the stairs. You couldn't do that.
Oh, wow. That's sad.
He stopped going because he was embarrassed. So the time that he actually went and was able to fit in his chair, he couldn't believe it. All these years I've been paying for my season tickets and I can never go to a game because I can't fit in my chair. And now he's sitting in his chair. So it's those things that you're able to do now, Steve, that you weren't able to do before, that the rest of us take for granted.
Mm-hmm. And I always, in my head, I always think of that one lyric, I get knocked down, but I get up again, ain't nothing gonna stop me now, or words to that effect. And that's sort of been a little mantra of mine. If I get off the horse, I go back on it. I never give up. I don't quit. And knock on wood, it's been working. Like I said, she's my guardian angel. And trust me, not only is Linda a guardian angel, I got my mother here, who is my weapon of mass destruction, the
Nice.
80-year-old king-wielding Polish mother. You think
Sounds tough.
you think I'm going to argue with her? And then I got my friends down the street, the parents of my broadcast partner and my broadcast partner. All of them promised one thing: if I ever fall off the horse again, Linda's going to be first in line to wear these steel-toed boots and kick my you-know-what down to Cleveland.
Yep. Yep.
And let's put it this way: with all that backup, you think I'm going to fail? No, 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 no.
I don't want to have that talk again.
Oh no. She'd make us listen when she gets angry. She makes 3 sailors and the 8th fleet blush.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm. So I listen, and I do.
So Stephen, let me ask you this. What do your friends thought of, the weight that you've lost? What was been their initial reaction?
Well, first there was shock, and then there was a little disbelief until I showed them, because we meet frequently to discuss what to do with the show. And they looked at me and they said, "Damn, what happened? Where's this jolly person everybody kept teasing? I even had swear to God, this happened. I had one of my ex-friends, ex-schoolmates, female head cheerleader, stop me and say, 'Steve, is that you?' And I said, 'Yes.' He said, No, that can't be you. You were big, you were bulky. Now you're getting svelte.' And I said, 'See what you missed?' And she looked at me and just went, 'I'm amazed. I'm shocked. How much have you lost?' When I told her, she was literally just, hmm.
It's just that number is, people who, when I see an overweight person, I usually wonder what's gone on in their lives to make that happen. There's usually some underlying reason.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes just because they like food and everything, life is great. But sometimes it's because there's usually something that's gone on in their lives to make them turn to food, to make them feel good and so forth. So I always have a soft spot in my heart when I see somebody who's overweight, because I know that they probably have some struggles that, the average person doesn't have. And a lot of times it just seems, because they know that they have such a long way to go, it seems too overwhelming to them, and they don't want to, because it's too overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
So when I see somebody who has actually started and been patient enough to wait for it to happen, because losing weight is like watching paint dry, isn't it? It's slow and it's boring. But if you can stick with it and just, like I said, make it a lifestyle, year later, 2 years later, 3, you're like, wow, look at this. Because a year later is going to come regardless. 2 years later is going to come regardless. You may as well like yourself better, feel better. All the test results are coming back better. You're going to live longer now. You may as well. But you have to start somewhere. But that starting point is really hard to hit.
This is true. This is definitely true, because
Linda, did I see a post that I'm sure it was you. The refrigerator is your friend, not your enemy. Did you post something like that?
I may have a while back. I haven't done something like that recently, but it sounds familiar. And I don't remember exactly how it was worded. Those quotes are pretty popular with fitness people.
Yeah.
So it may have been
it was you. It was something like that. And well, that's a good one. That makes sense. It made me stop and think. And then, Stephen, what you just said about the refrigerator, that's common, especially, going to COVID-19, when people were stuck at home. The first thing they ran to was food, and then they ran for paper, So it was interesting at that aspect. But talk about the foods that you're eating now, because this is even more important to maintain where you are. Talk about that.
Ooh, beautiful. Well, I cut down on eggs, because eggs have cholesterol in, and I don't need that much cholesterol. I eat venison. I'm upping the old vegetables. I'm eating carrots, potatoes, romaine lettuce, kale, you name it. If it's a vegetable, I will devour it. And let's put it this way. Boy, you didn't think I would have props here. This gone.
That helps.
Yeah, yeah. In fact, let's put it this way. I now use these for water, and
Oh, that's
and and I and I have I'm literally I have a feeling I'm putting Culligan, Epsipure, and a bunch of other people out of business in the water world because I've been drinking literally gallons of this and I feel great.
your water intake is the start of everything. It helps clean out your blood, it helps clean out your system, and that's when you start feeling good. It's people don't understand it when I tell them they're but I don't really like water. Whether you like it or not, that's how our bodies are designed. You know,
You
Exactly.
don't like water?
sorry you don't like it.
Linda,
So,
talk
yeah.
about what's been happening with fit.live.
Fit.live is going well. We have the broadcasters that, we go out daily from all over the world. We're broadcasting from London, New York, Chicago, LA. I can't remember what other areas in the world, but I know there's several other places in the world that we're broadcasting from. We broadcast daily. Every day there's somebody on at different times. We're picking up the viewer base, and we now have a new platform that is a two-way interactive platform, and it's a little like how I used to do it when I would go out to 8 or 9 different platforms: Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube. I went out to all those platforms at one time, and people were able to interact because they would be able to send comments, kind of like I'm live now, and I have these beautiful, wonderful comments coming through. It was like that, but now it's a little different. Now you can actually click on a button. I could see you, you could see me, and we can talk. So I can actually, you can click on and say, hey, am I doing this right? And I can see you and say, hey, get your elbow a little bit closer to your ear when you're doing that and bring your arm down a little bit more, which is great because a lot of times I'll tell somebody, do this, and they think they're doing it, but it looks like this. Right. Yeah, I'm doing it, and they're not. And so that's where a trainer comes in. We get to go, hold on, let's fix that little by little. So it's a really great new platform, which allows us to see the person who's working out. They get to see us, ask us, and right then and there, I get to correct their form. It's almost like a one-on-one FaceTime, which is great.
Steven, what's the first thing that you do when you're getting up? Do you work out in the morning or do you work out in the evening?
I work out at both morning and evening. When I get up, I try to get this. I run, and this is sort of my running partner. This is Uno, the mouse assassin. My friend's mom and his family gave her to me. So this has been my running partner and my exercise partner because
that's cute.
She is incredible. Not only does she mafia the mice, she also mafias my weight. So I just, and when she runs, I run, get after her and all that. And of course, the lifting of her. I mean, hey, you have an animal. Always remember.
I can't do that with my dog anymore.
I've seen your dog. I think you can actually dance with a dog now. It's very legal.
When she gives me a hug and she puts her paws on she is my height.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah. Holy hemophile.
She's a big girl.
Linda, talk about your last photo shoot and what you have coming up between now and the end of the year. We got 4 months, and and I always tell people this is when you grind down. You still got some weird things coming, but you don't give up the last 4 months of the year. You finish the year out strong.
Yeah. Oh, I feel like I'm going to. So I have a few things coming up. I have Vegas was great. My last photo shoot was great. We got a lot of a lot of different scenes in. We went to Nelson, which was great. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Nelson in Nevada, but did some stuff in the Colorado River. And so we got some great stuff that unique, something different than I already have. I'll be going to Miami in a couple weeks. And so there's a shoot that is pending right now in Miami. And after that, I haven't nailed anything down 100% because I have some things going on with my training and a gym and different things that I may be taking on, because in my spare time, I need to do something. My
in your spare time, like you have spare time.
Not 5 minutes. So I have a couple other things coming up with training and so forth. So I have a lot of spinning balls in the air again. Just when I think I'm gonna have 5 minutes to kind of chill and let things settle in, I never get that opportunity. Things always seem to come my way. So, and I'm hoping to be getting out to LA also at the end of the year with the Olympia.
Oh yes, yes, that's going to be exciting. I have some great things planned for you already. Starting tomorrow.
Awesome.
Was that an evil laugh I just heard?
Yes, I heard it too.
Yeah.
Yes,
I've always got things going. Stephen, talk about what do you got planned for the last 4 months of the year? How do you end the year strong?
Well, with this pandemic going on, as you can see, I have more respect for people with long hair. I'm now going by the nickname Flavio. So, only kidding. I would never do Flavio. No. I'm going to get this cut so that I look like Pippi Longstocking evil twin brother Shecky. But seriously, I'm going to keep on doing what I've been doing, losing weight, running after public enemy number one, which I love very much. And I'm going to keep doing the podcast as long as I can, and just be me. And I'm working on, we have a spare room here, and I'm working to get that into a podcast studio so my friends and I can go and do what we do best. And I'm going to be keeping busy. I'm going to keep on exercising.
Good for you. That's good. Yeah, Stephen, use that extra room, make it soundproof, make it good. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you have to
and
do.
Also, I made a little cyber bargain with the nice lady there, Miss Linda Steele, that if I got down to my goal, my ultimate goal weight of 250 pounds, I am going to go down to Chicago, get my fedora, got a black fedora, get my suit on, and I'm going to dance with Linda Steele on the John Hancock building.
Oh, I would love that.
Because, I mean, hey, my one goal in life, besides losing this weight, is to walk the Sydney Bridge in Sydney, Australia. So I can, get rid of my fear of heights. But the Hancock building, I tell you what that nickname is.
95th floor.
But it would have to be censored. But I think everybody knows what the nickname of the Hancock Center is. And I'm going to dance with Linda Steele. One dance under a starry night, right on the observation deck.
Wow, that's I'm flattered. That's a wonderful goal. That is some great.
If her dog doesn't beat me up first.
Hey, Steve, give me a social media link so people can reach out and hear more of your story and your podcast.
Okay, well, if they, my sportscast, you can go to youtube.com/lugnut6, LUGNUTS, and the number 6. I'm on most nights about 11:30, unless there's a big sporting event, then, well, I'll be on after that. And the podcast, just go to Spreaker.com, and in the search engine, look for Last Call Cafe and or Wrestle Anime Hut, and you will be there. And the Last Call Cafe is now 3 people. We got our friend Matt doing gamer news, so if anyone's a gamer, the show is for you. If anyone likes to laugh, if anyone just likes to be entertained, and believe me, we all need a laugh now and then. Oh, do we need a laugh this time? And we are right now, or I am right now, scripting the my traditional New Year's Eve show that we used to do live on Block Talk, but we're going to be doing live on tape on Spreaker. And this year, well, let's put it this way: we're going to do the 2020 what 2020 has done to us, but we're going to do it the proper comedic way. It's going to blow up real good. Yes.
And Linda, who do you have question-wise, and what country or state?
Wait, say that again.
Who do you have question-wise, and what country, what states?
I have people tuning in from Australia. I had, my gosh, I should write them all down. We had South America on, Texas. Thanks, Jose. Where else are you guys? I forget where, but they're all over the place. I should write them down because I think I'm going to remember and then I don't. DC, yes. People from DC. People from the East Coast were on. And sometimes LA. Yeah, so people are at Philly. We got Philly in the house. Jersey. Where else, guys? Come on, help me out. Do we have any questions for Steve, the man who lost 167 pounds just for fun? Mexico City's in the house.
Hola, Mexico City.
Houston. Say again?
Hola, Mexico City.
Yes. Kazakhstan. I should know how to pronounce it. Romania.
That's incredible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Steve, when you hear about the fan base that she has, what does that say with you that you actually get a chance to know her and you get a chance to train with her? Isn't that special?
Oh, yes. And every night when I, hit those lovely sheets and before I go to bed, and again, hand to God, I always, when we were kids, we were taught up there, now lay me down to sleep. And afterwards, we say, God bless. I always make mention of Linda Steele. I make mention of her on my radio shows, on my sportscast, on the L2C and everywhere else. Because if it wasn't for her, you would be talking to the late Steve Baxley. And by the way, I just want to show something. We all have heard of face mask. My broadcast partner with One Better. Yep, that's me.
Oh wow!
So you could say yes. So you could say I always make sure to wear my face mask. I also found out these things are duo because if you use them like this, you can also use them like that as a little light thing. Yeah.
Yep.
True. Linda, give you last your social media links for those new people who may know who you are, who you may be their future trainer for.
Louisiana and Maryland are also in the house. My social media links is Instagram is Linda Steele Fit Bod. Twitter is Linda Steele Hot 1, the number 1. And I have an email address, which is probably the best way to get a hold of me because I don't always see my messages. A lot of messages come through on my social media and I don't always get a chance to address them. So my email is lindasteelehotbod@gmail.com. I have a website, lindasteelehotbod.com. So just remember Linda Steele Hot Bod. Linda Steele Hot. It's going to come up. But if you Google me, you'll see ways.
Just be careful when you Google her. You'll wear gloves.
And I have to say this: people don't realize how busy we get. If we don't respond right away, it's because we could be having hundreds, thousands, and for us, millions of people reaching out to us on all platforms. I have people through China and reaching out. My phone is like that's like the 30-second ting that's had throughout the day, throughout the night. And I'm so on it and I'm ahead of time, but it's just those days, and Linda can relate to this. We're like, We just need 5 minutes sometimes. We may not get 5 minutes, but we need it. And it's not like we can get away, go to the movies for 2 hours. We can't do it right now.
Right.
The movies in, Los Angeles, they're not open. Vegas, like kind of open, but I'm not ready to go yet. So I'm still getting the links. So in the middle of everything, I'm watching what I can on 3 different computers. You see my setup. I've got 3 different computers. My one phone's broken still. The other phone's here in my tablet. That's my setup. And at that thing, as of today, Linda, we're 6 million views a day and still counting. And I got to, so Stephen, keep your eye on for this because I got some great things for Linda. I almost want to tell her, but she's not going to know yet. I want to surprise her.
Yes, I will make sure to keep your secret, mister. Yes.
Prizes are tough for me. I'll let you keep it a secret. That's fine.
So with that, Stephen, I want to thank you again. How much weight did you lose again?
167.5 pounds. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
Hey, and that's a great thing. And so, Linda Steele, thank you for doing that. I'm glad. Thank you so much for hearing your story because we need to hear more things like that, Stephen. And Linda, thank you for taking on someone like that because, as you said earlier, I kind of do the same thing. If I feel someone is kind of off to their own and doing that thing, I kind of reach out to them. I mean, even if I may not know them, I'm like, okay, should I reach out to this person? I take the chances because we're in service and we want to help people, and that's really what it is. So with that, my phone is going off crazy again still. I'm Brian Sebastian. Women on TV.tv, I2247 out of Franklin, Tennessee. If you see someone without a smile, please give them one of yours because the world needs it. We'll see you next week.